Hello everybody, welcome to episode 8 of the Max Cape Speedrun series. My name is JCW and this is my main. Back in 2020, I finished a level 3 to all 200 mil non-combat skills. 2 years later, or 2 months ago, I decided to jump back into the skilling scene. I created a brand new account with the goal of maxing in the shortest playtime possible. Of course, being a main account, there are no restrictions, so all I have to do is log in and click however which way I want to. Throughout the series, I am showing every method that I am doing for the max total. On the left, you guys can see my stats from last week's episode. If you remember, I hit 99 woodcutting right at the end. Over the past week, I had 2 days off work, so I managed to play a lot. So spoiler alert, expect large numbers this week. If this area looks familiar, you guys may remember me here a few episodes ago. I never actually explained what I was doing. After such positive feedback from my in-depth woodcutting episode, this episode will be in-depth about this thieving method. This is called artifact thieving. It's located in Zaya. Essentially what I'm doing is running around this area stealing artifacts for someone. They are locked in a safe and I use a lockpick to take it out and then I return the jewelry to them. There's guards located all around me that I need to be careful of dodging. If you look up artifact thieving on the Wikipedia, it will tell you it's actually pretty decent thieving XP an hour, despite a lot of people choosing to do RD nights or whatever thieving methods they want. But what the wiki does not tell you is that this can be more than just thieving. Ah yes, the traditional way of training herblore, the skill of mixing potions and herbs, is to literally just sit at a bank, use ingredient on potion, gain XP, hit the banker, withdraw and deposit, and repeat. Sounds boring to me. We're just standing still and there's no fun to it. But we gotta do it because we need a banker to give us our new ingredients. There's only 28 slots in our inventory. So hear me out guys, what if there was a portable banker? What I'm going to be doing throughout this episode is while I'm running around and stealing artifacts, I'm also going to be making potions. How do I restock? Easy, I use another account to run me supplies and trade him whenever I need more. Essentially, he's my portable banker. Just to add real quick guys, thank you for all the support. We are now over 12k subs, which is awesome. Let's keep this number moving by not forgetting to hit the subscribe button if you haven't. For those kings who are already subbed, thank you, you are kings, smash the like button and feel free to comment. Additionally, as I've been streaming on Twitch, many people have recommended me to make a community Discord. What I'm going to drop in the description is a link to that Discord. Feel free to chat in there, spit ideas, ask questions, all of that stuff. Currently, there's probably a lot more I can add to it, so suggest inside the Discord of any good ideas you may have to make the place more fun. Finally, I will be adding a Patreon link down below. If you wish to support me, feel free. The lowest description is as small as $3 a month and it still helps me and means a lot if you guys are willing to support me. Now that all of that is out of the way, let me explain what exactly this thieving method is. As mentioned earlier, I had to talk to this guy over here, Captain Khaled, aka Budget DJ Khaled. He assigns me a house to steal the artifact from, as labeled on the screen. Northwest, west, southwest, north, south, southeast. I also labeled where DJ Khaled is, along with the teleport spot you can see me use my book to teleport each lap. If it isn't obvious, some of the houses are significantly further than the other houses. This means that RNG can be pretty rough or generous with you, especially in an hour's worth of time. Attached is the time for each lap's house from the wiki. I blocked the middle column because it's irrelevant for the sake of this video since I am using a teleport. And honestly, everyone doing this method should be using this teleport. I'm not going to go in depth on how to get it because you can just quickly wiki it, but it's very easy. Anyways, as you can see, the southwest house sucks. The lap is pretty much 50% longer than the two quickest houses, the north and southeast. Getting this house can gently be demotivating, especially when I'm trying to do one really good hour. But remember, we have a portable bank, so at the very least, we can say we're training herblore the whole time, so it's not complete XP waste. Real quick, this green guard right here has to be set up before training this method. It's to make sure you can always run by him because he is stuck looking at the water. Anyway, the moving guards are always something I need to stay behind and make sure they don't catch me. It requires very little brain power, but it's still some thinking. This is why you'll occasionally see me chilling and just making pops while waiting for them to move. Fortunately, the run back is always prime AFK time. It's a solid 10 to 20 seconds of running back to DJ Khaled for the next artifact. It makes it easy to set up my ult exactly when my last potion will be used, that way I waste minimal herblore XP. Of course, during workdays, I'm still doing birdhouse runs. I'm currently up to 61 hunter, and it's kind of awesome. I don't know why, but for some reason, it took me like 6 days to remember that I have to do farm runs. Mahogany trees grow every 3, but I guess I forgot about them since it's been so long since my last farm run. I just remember now during this birdhouse run, so immediately after this, I'm heading to my trees to do my first farm run post 99 woodcutting. So now I'm just very quickly trading it over, that way I don't have to hit the bank and I can run immediately from here to the trees. The cool part about growing mahogany trees is that they give 15,000 experience each and they're only like a 55 farming requirement. So I'm about to be flying through some levels. There we go, just like that, gaining a whole 2 levels of farming. Hopefully we'll be back within 3 days, but if not, I'm sure I'll find the farming XP somewhere. Let me show you guys how each house goes so that you have an idea of how general gameplay works. I'm going to be starting out with the worst house, Southwest. Keep in mind I have a couple things. I'm training Herbler and Thieving. I have an Uber that trades me potions, and it's very important for that Uber to make sure I'm never running and not training Herbler. I'm not sure if I consider this 0-time Thieving or 0-time Herbler XP, but I mean, like I said, it's good Thieving XP, and the Herbler is honestly just extra. So I guess in a way, it's 0-time Herbler. So I just gotta run basically all across Zaya to hit this ladder. Once I click up the ladder, I see this vault which I can then use my lockpick on. Walking back down the ladder, the guard will always be walking in circles and will never consistently be on the same tile each lap. In this specific example, I have to wait for him to pass before going, otherwise he'll catch me. Right here is honestly a great spot to trade over potions, so I'm going to quickly do that. This upcoming guard on the mini bridge is one of the most painful guards. You have to be sure you're never diagonal or in front of him, but you can be to the side of him. You can use these barrels around me to kind of line up and make sure that he doesn't see me. If the walking guard is on the other side of this square, which he is in this scenario, I just need to run across and make pots, and then I can AFK until I grab the new artifact. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Next house, being the second longest, is Northwest. It's kind of the same concept, but not having to run south at the end is so convenient in terms of time per lap. If you remember from the chart, it's a whole 10 seconds quicker, which might not sound like much, but that's 15% faster. Given that this is the second longest and already 15% faster, I'm sure you guys can see why sometimes when DJ Khaled doesn't want to give me north or southeast, this method can get painful. I noticed a common question that I got asked when streaming was people were asking what's in my inventory on the bottom between the stam and the coins. Bear in mind we're stealing artifacts from the vaults. That artifact has to go somewhere in my inventory. So as soon as I turn it in, the spot opens again. But if you do see something there and you've probably never seen it before, like this casket, just keep in mind it's just an artifact. I don't want to say the timing of the trades can always be relied on to be in the same spots every lap, but it is typical for me to trade over the pots right after exiting the square. Now that I got these pots, I can AFK a bit. So I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go clip my toenails while I wait. Alright, house number 3, the western one. The last one across the annoying bridge. This one is only 5 seconds faster than the northwest, so it's not the biggest difference like the southwest. I'm just saying though that southwest house is dreadful. If you look here, I actually do a pretty risky click where I nearly get caught, but actually it's pretty necessary to do this if you want to get decent rates, which I will be showing after all these examples. If I didn't click here in time, I would have had to sit idle for probably a solid 5 to 10 seconds while the other guy came around and then wait for him, and it's a pain in the ass. It ends up making my lap 10% longer than it needed to be. When you think 10% of a whole hour, a whole 6 minutes, that's pretty huge. Anyway, now that I can AFK on the way back, I guess I can go do a load of laundry real quick, so I'll be right back. Next 3 houses are all the fun houses. These are all pretty close, and I do get some nice serotonin whenever I see these houses being listed. I don't have to deal with a really annoying bridge guard, and time-wise, they definitely make my XP an hour go up. And everybody knows higher numbers equals happier gamer. The trading on these 3 houses is where it can get more all over the place. Since they're small laps, there's no real consistency to it, so the trade could be anywhere really. There's just these 2 guards on this house I need to watch out for, but both are very easy to just sit and wait for. So as you can see here, I'm waiting a couple ticks for this one to go, and then I'm just on my way back and I get some more AFK time. I know I'm being sarcastic most of the time when I say AFK time, but I generally do mean that I love this method because there was genuine downtime where I could just think to myself for a few seconds. Overall, this method with Herbler was a lot of fun. Alright, just 2 more houses to go. Let's jump right into the north one. Theoretically, this one is a faster lap than the southeast. I love this house, I really do, but I do prefer the southeastern one. You'll see why in 2 seconds. Remember that guard walking around here? Sometimes you gotta wait for him to move a little, so you just kinda sit here for a bit. To my knowledge, there's no way around this, and it can be one of the most downtime things, but at least the house is already close, so I mean, I still like this house a lot. Now that we're out of there, we click very far and do one of those things called AFK. I already clipped my toenails and did my laundry while running on this AFK time. What do you guys think I should do next? I guess I could go get a life and go outside. Never mind. Final house, boys, and definitely the easiest. Southeast. There's only 1 guard to worry about here, because the other guard, just like the other green one, is trapped behind a barrel. This one is honestly requiring 0 brain power, and usually I shut off my brain while doing this house. It's also very quick, which is cool. Since I saw the guard already walking towards me, I know it's gone by the time I'm up the ladder and stolen the goods. So once I'm down off the ladder, I just path this properly to the right tile, and then I'm chilling again. Now that we know all 6 houses, let's take a look at some big level ups we made throughout the week while doing this. If you remember, at the start of this episode, I was 85 Herbler and 89 Thieving. Unfortunately, I did not get all of my levels recorded, but here I am hitting 89 Herbler. Right after, just now, I'm hitting the big 90. Around here is where I started to remember to show my XP rates on the screen, so if you were curious about the XP rates of this method, take a look on screen in this and the following clips. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but the book that I use to teleport every lap only goes up to 32 charges with my current requirements. For whatever reason, Jagex does not allow this to be charged at a bank, so what I need to do is teleport and charge it at some statue thing every 32 laps. The good thing though is that I can trade Herbler the whole time, so technically it doesn't really make any difference. Coming up, we got the halfway mark with Herbler, hitting level 92. All of this love for Herbler levels, but keep in mind guys, I promise I'm still training Thieving. Here I am hitting 93. If you remember at the beginning of the video, I said I had 2 days off work where I ended up gaming super hard. One day, I didn't reset my tracker at all and just spent the whole day doing Herbler plus Thieving. These were my rates near the end. Over the course of 8 hours-ish, I averaged 215k an hour Thieving and 275k an hour Herbler. Just to give you an idea of how OP this method is in terms of EHP and hours saved, Herbler at a bank with this pot is roughly 460k an hour. The best thieving method an hour at this level is 280k at Pyramid Plunder. Bear with me because we're going to look at numbers and fractions, but this means that 215 out of 280k an hour thieving is 76.7% thieving EHP, and the 275 out of 460k an hour for Herbler is 59.7% EHP. If you add these together, I averaged 36% over EHP over a span of 8 hours. That's actually an insane number. That means in just this one session, I saved over 2 hours on the way to max total on this account, going by EHP rates. Here I am, quickly banging out 94 thieving. Let's go, boys, only 5 more levels to go. Followed by 93 herblore. So I'm just about to hit 94 herblore, and I'm actually going to be stopping around here. Don't worry though, I'm not stopping thieving. We will keep zooming through thieving, however, we're just moving to another skill to train while running. Next skill to do with thieving is firemaking. Thankfully you guys already understand the houses, so I don't need to bleed into your ears for another 7 minutes explaining this method. It's the same concept, I have to burn logs while moving. It's actually much harder than thieving, but it is efficient, so I'm going to be doing it. There's only a couple extra mechanics you guys should know about firemaking with this. The first mechanic being, when you light your first log, it takes forever. I don't know the exact amount of ticks, but if you notice, it takes me like probably 5, 6, maybe even 7 ticks to light my log. But if you notice, when I light my second log immediately after, it's much quicker. That one only takes 4 ticks. In addition to this, it might be wise to take note that your character moves 1 square west each log. So in order for me to avoid the first problem of the first log taking forever, I use a knife on a teak log to start a 3-tick cycle, just like wood cutting. This allows me to use the tinderbox on the log before I finish the cycle, and it will take over the action and light my log immediately, so I don't have to bend over and all that stuff. After this, I can continue on with 4-tick cycles. Bearing in mind that I always move 1 tile west when lighting a log, if you look closely, you can see my character move only 1 square while running instead of the usual 2, because I am being pushed west while lighting my log. Notice how right here I am only 1 tile ahead of my fire. When you run in this game, you're running 2 tiles at a time, so it's pushing me 1 tile west. In a way, this means that every time I am being pushed back 2 tiles running this way, I'm losing a tick. Personally, I still think it's well worth the 350 firemaking XP per log. Of course, it's the same thing when running west. I am being pushed an extra tile. If you look at the fire and where I'm standing on the next tick, you'll notice I actually skipped a square. This can be useful information if you're trying to speedrun a friend and you need to win by a tile or something. So go on out guys, bet your friends 100 mil, and be sure to split the profits with me. That's basically it for this method. The past week I was doing thieving, and half of it I did herb with, the other half I did firemaking. Now let's get some firemaking levels. Sit back and enjoy me occasionally misclicking fires. So I'll be completely honest, I noticed immediately that I don't think I'm going to have enough thieving XP left to line up 99 firemaking and thieving at the same time. It looks like thieving is going to be way sooner. Let's see how they go. Just now, I'm hitting halfway to level 99, which is level 92. My overall thoughts on this method? If you're looking to just train thieving and you don't want to do early nights or something, just do this method. It's so easy thieving XP an hour and you don't have to multi-skill. Just look up a proper guide or even the wiki for the proper setup. If you remember, I mentioned in the beginning of the video that I'm making a community Discord. Feel free to ask me about it in there and I'll help you out. If you're looking to challenge yourself, I would overall say firemaking is way harder, but the trickiest part for herb is the fact you have to control your ult as well. For firemaking, you don't trade nearly as often as you do with herb, so if you're not good at running multiple accounts, you'll struggle with herb. Oh yeah, if you see me dropping logs and not fully firemaking them, it just means I'm bad at clicking. Just a heads up. So if you want to make money and pick up these redwood logs, it's pretty good GP an hour. Here I am just about to hit 96 thieving, and I'm still only 92 firemaking, so it's not looking great. Here are my rates on the screen. Now hitting level 93 Firemaking. Now jumping to the next number, 94 Firemaking. I'm still level 96 Thieving, so I'm starting to feel some hope of catching up. Unfortunately, there comes a time where I have to level up the purple skill. I'm just about to hit 97 Thieving. If I didn't make it clear enough, I very much want to hit 99 Firemaking right before 99 Thieving or around the same time, so I'm not crazy about this level. But at least we can say we're one level closer to finishing our 4th 99. I'm sure I'll figure something out. There's the level up. Thankfully, back to leveling the good skill, 95 Firemaking, boys. Here comes more good, 96 Firemaking. There's only so much time in a week, and I want to make weekly episodes, so the answer is no, I will not be finishing any 99s this episode. Let's take a look into what my final stats and EHP are this week. Here they are. I managed to snag up 98 Thieving, but I'm still only 96 Firemaking. I calculated what I'm going to be finishing 99 Thieving at, and it's roughly going to be 1 to 1.4 mil Firemaking XP off. I'm going to have to figure something out for the rest of it, so stay tuned to see what I end up doing. For my other levels, I literally only did Thieving this week. I gained a lot of herb and Firemaking levels because you can do it passively with it, so that's pretty awesome. I'm also nearing 1450 total, so hopefully we'll see that in the next episode. EHP wise, we're at 227 efficient hours played. This brings us to about 23.6% of the way to max cape. We're nearing a quarter of the way there, guys. This is epic. Playtime will be leaked either next episode or the one after. Stay tuned. I can give you guys a small hint. You can expect me to be way ahead of my actual playtime due to all of the over EHP I've done the past week. Anyway guys, if you've managed to watch me run in circles around a dock on a 2007 paint game for the past 20 minutes, my hat is off to you. Hopefully you learned a few obscure things about skilling in this game. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, sub, comment, and check out the links below in the description. See you next week.